guys, so today I want to share with you the book that I find myself using the most when I am working with the tarot and wanting to learn more about the tarot. And that is this lovely book here, which is In Focus Tarot, Your Personal Guide. So this book is by Stephen Bright, and I wasn't expecting to be as drawn to this book and as connected to it in the way that I am. So I first came across this book in a store called Spencer's. I knew I wanted to get something while I was at the store. I didn't know if it was going to be, actually I didn't even realize that Spencer's had a tarot section or like a spiritual type of section, which I feel like I should have known that, but I didn't. So when I went there, I was just checking out that section and looking at the decks that they had, and I wasn't really drawn to any of the decks. And then I started looking at the books that they had, and this one caught my eye. I love the cover art on it. I love the colors. I love the feel of it. It's hardcover, so it's very sturdy and durable. I didn't even realize that it comes with a big wall chart containing all of the majors until I purchased the book and brought it home and discovered this big envelope in the back. So even before I bought it and I was just flipping through it at the store, I just knew that this was a book that I had to have. So I've made a video before of all of the books that I currently have on tarot, and I do enjoy most of those books. There are some, like I've mentioned, that I just feel like I'm not quite ready for. They're a bit more advanced than where I am in my tarot practice at the moment. But this book, the way that this book is put together, the way that it is written, it is definitely for me. So I am someone who likes, especially when I'm learning things, I don't like things to be too complex. I need it to be more straightforward and linear and just like to the point. And the writing, if it matches the way that I like to speak or the way that I like to write, it really helps me resonate that much more with the material. So if we take a look at the table of contents, there are only 4 chapters, but this book is full of information. So we have the getting started here, and I love how each of the chapters are separated by a page like this. I really like the design of this page. So right off the bat, we have a section on what tarot is, and then next, what tarot is not. I found both of those to be really interesting reads. And then we even have a section here, is tarot dangerous? Because if you are a tarot reader, I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of sort of the bad rep that tarot has gotten. Some misinformation along the way, you know, through the years. So it was really nice to read this part and get the author's take on that. And then we have a who can use tarot, how can you get the most out of this book, the universal weight tarot, getting familiar with tarot, making tarot your own, how is a tarot deck structured. So this section here is really helpful for a beginner because it talks about how the elements are involved in the tarot cards and the suits. We have a section explaining the meaning of the suits, reading court cards. I know how that is always a crowd pleaser among readers. I know I myself struggle a little bit with the court cards. Reversals, and then we're on to chapter 2, which is the major arcana. So we have a little bit of an opening paragraph here explaining a little bit about the majors, and then hopefully I can get most of this in the frame. It's kind of it's not a large book, but it's definitely bigger than the decks that I use, so trying to get it in the frame is a bit of a challenge, but hopefully you guys can see. So the intro to this book was really interesting and gave a lot of helpful information, especially for someone who is newer to reading, but it is the breakdown of each individual card that really stood out for me with this book. So if we take a look at the Fool here, we have a brief introduction just about the general card, and then he goes into breaking it down even a little bit further. So the Fool as a situation, and then he gives a bit of an example of how you may read the Fool card if it is pertaining to a certain situation. And then the Fool as a person, how you may look at that card in a reading, how it could be relating to someone in your life or in that situation. And then the Fool and you. So how might the Fool relate to you in a certain situation? And then just really quick and helpful are some keywords at the bottom here, along with some keywords for the card if it was reversed. So feel free to pause the video if you would like to actually read this section and get a better idea. And then if we look at another card, we have the same thing. So each of the majors is set up this way. You have the breakdown, and then you have it as a situation, as a person, and then how you yourself can relate to the card, along with the keywords. So there's just so much good information in this book that is so well written, and I'm just obsessed with it. I don't even keep this book in my shelf where I keep all my other books along with my cards. I always have this one with me at my desk. So this book has quickly become my go-to, where if I'm doing a reading and I need a little bit of backup, or even if I just want to do a little bit of reading on the tarot just in general, this has been the book that I go to. Okay, so we're gonna jump ahead to the minor arcana. So again, it starts off with a little bit of an introduction here. We have a table describing which element goes with each suit. And then again, we have a breakdown of each of the cards laid out in the same way as the majors. So it's a really interesting way and a very clear way to look at each of the cards. And sometimes it is a bit difficult. I know it is for me as a bit of a newer reader to try and understand what it is that the card is representing. Like, is the card representing a situation? Is it representing me? Is it representing another person? So when you have it broken down like this, it really, really helps you to figure that out and kind of know what to look for to help you figure it out. So at the beginning for each of the suits, we have a bit of a breakdown of what each of them means. So here we have the Age of Cups, and then this paragraph kind of breaks down just the suit in general, and then we move on to each of the cards individually. So yeah, just so much really good information. And then jumping forward to the last chapter here, we have even more information on learning to read the tarot. How long will it take for me to learn to read? Which the author goes on to explain that it's different for everyone, and it also depends on, you know, how much of your time and your energy you're putting into learning the tarot. How often should I use the tarot? When should I start reading with spreads? I found this to be very, very interesting because I do feel like a lot of newer readers, I know I did this, jump right into really big spreads or just spreads in general. I started with the Celtic Cross. That was the first spread that I did, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on or how to read the cards. I was totally lost. So I feel like this would be a really good section for a newer reader to check out. How do I begin a reading? How soon can I read for others? Should I use more than one deck? So of course this is the author's opinion, but I also really enjoyed it because I feel like we share similar thoughts on these topics. And then he goes into breaking down common spreads that readers use. A really good breakdown of the Celtic Cross, which was really nice. Like the next time I do try and attempt that spread, I will probably have this book with me. And yeah, that is the end of the book. So yeah, I obviously wasn't able to have this book a part of the previous video I made a little while ago on all of my book purchases because I only recently purchased this one, but I felt like this one is so good in my personal opinion. And out of my collection, it's the best book that I have so far, and it's helped me so much and continues to help me every time I need some, like I said, some backup. I need a little bit more information on something. This book has yet to let me down. So I wanted to share it in case there are any other newer readers out there who are looking for really good reading material. I highly suggest this book. But like I always say, everyone is different, everyone has different opinions, so what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. That's just how the world works. But I do highly recommend that you at least check it out, maybe even do some more online research about it if you wish. But this book has helped me so much so far on my tarot journey, and I am very, very happy that I went into Spencer's that day and ended up walking out with this beauty of a book. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you found this video to be helpful in some way. Even if you're not a new reader, you're not a beginner, you've been doing this for a while, but you're someone like me who just loves to have books to, you know, just read on tarot or literally anything, then this could also be a book for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one.